you're a home buyer, somebody or a young person looking to buy a home, you need a bit of a reset.
There is a possibility on the other side of this that inflation could actually be quite
Welcome
low.
back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers, and it's going to be really bonkers. We got so many trends reversing right now, and the data is in. And here's the thing, you guys, demand is down, supply is down, sales are down, unaffordability is up, but yet prices are going up. How can that be? Well, we're going to take a look at that in this video because that's exactly what's going on in certain metro areas. So thank God that the Federal Reserve has maintained higher for longer, because if they don't, we will have a second round of inflation. And you guys, before I really dig in, if you find value in these videos, just hit like. If you find value, hit like. It really helps out the channel. But we're going to dig into a few things today, starting with the new Redfin housing market update. That's titled Housing Market Update. Home prices and mortgage rates rise, pushing would-be buyers to the sideline. And again, you guys, rates are up, demand is down, inventory is up, supply is up, and yet prices went up. How's that possible? Let's look. Now listen to the optimism of Redfin. Home prices posted their biggest annual increase in 15 months, and mortgage rates rose this week. High housing costs, along with seasonal factors like the Super Bowl, pushed down, not up, down pending sales. So how could prices be going up? Second paragraph. The median U.S. home price rose, this is year over year, 6.1% during the 4 weeks ending February 11th, the biggest increase since October of 2022. Mortgage rates are also rising, exacerbating high prices to drive costs up. Okay, now the next thing here, the Super Bowl is like Groundhog Day for real estate and economists. We usually have a read on how the market is shaping up by the beginning of February, and the read this year is it's looking sluggish so far. So what really drives me crazy is like the one moment where Redfin could be bullish, they're not. Instead of them highlighting the fact that in many metro areas, there has been a bump in purchasing ahead of spring home buying season. So instead of that, they're just saying, no, my gosh, the market's slow. It's just because of weather. I mean, seriously, how many times does Redfin keep getting it wrong, even when they want to be bullish? Like, this is your time to be bullish, Redfin, and you missed it. Okay. A lot of sellers want to wait until spring, but I'm telling people to consider listing in the next few weeks. Nothing like fear of missing out for sellers. Good job, Redfin. Just keep pushing that fear of missing out. There's hardly anything else in the markets. Buyers may want to act sooner rather than later too, because prices will continue to go up. And this is what realtors are saying out there. Like, they're positive prices will just continue to go up. No, they're not in every metro. It depends on the subdivision if you really want to get specific. I have a few clients who wanted to make an offer or made an offer that was too low, and now they regret it because a house they love got snatched up. So more fear of missing out. It's sprinkled in here. It's just they're doing it at the wrong parts of the data. It's crazy. Now let's jump into this week's leading indicators, starting with mortgage rates. I want to remind you guys again, what's happening right now is like bucking the fundamentals and the laws of supply and demand. And one of the reasons is sentiment. Sentiment is stronger than those laws of supply and demand. This is crazy, but the daily average interest rate is 7.09. You guys, year over year, that's up over 50 basis points this time last year, right before the bank bailout. So rates are going to start plunging when you compare year over year, because again, the bank term funding program and the bank runs of 2023. But this sucker was, again, it's up drastically. And we look at the weekly average, it's 6.64. That's up from 6.12. It's way more expensive. Now look at this, you guys, talking about demand. Look at mortgage purchase application. That's down 12% year over year. And this time last year, things were in the gutter. This is crazy. And this was also down 3% from a week earlier. Now, Redfin home buying demand, the same thing. That's down 18% year over year and down 6% from a week earlier. How are prices going up? Homes for search is down 11%. Now, touring activity appears to be up 14% from the start of the year. They're not doing year over year anymore. Not sure why. Take a look at this, guys. Again, here's median sales price. Last week, we were at $361. So this made a movement of about $1,000. And I also want you to pay attention to the gap and median asking price being $395 to median sales price at $362. So we got sellers that want to sell for max dollar. I mean, we know that. That's happening right now. Now let's take a look at this week's winners and losers, and I'm going to do an individual market analysis on 6 of these metros so that you guys can see what I'm saying. But the top 4 metro areas with home price increases: Newark at 14% year over year, New Brunswick at 13.8%, Miami at 13.2%, Anaheim at 12.8%, Warren at 12%. None of those cities are real heavy in affordable housing for new construction. Now, if we look to the right, the loser column has all Texas. Again, we have the most new construction, the most inventory of new homes. That's probably why you're seeing it continue to go down. Now, San Antonio is now leading metro area at negative 5.2%. Austin's down number 2 at 1.4%, so still being gutted in Austin. Number 3, right next to Dallas, with Fort Worth down 0.7%. But take a look at Anaheim. And here's what I want to point out. I want to point out from December to January, we had a pretty drastic increase in prices in Anaheim from December to January. You guys, that's not normal. In fact, it was such a big increase from December to January in Anaheim that Anaheim just hit a new record high in the month of January. So is there runaway inflation in the housing market? Well, yes, there is, depending on the metro area. And thank goodness we have elevated interest rates, because again, Anaheim just hit a new record, according to Redfin. Look at that. Normally, it goes down between December and January. Now, take a look at Miami. Same thing in Miami, you guys. Miami hit a new record, okay? Just like Anaheim, they hit a new record in January. Normally, the prices go down. Normally, they go down from December to January. But Miami, you guys can see this uptick. Look at that. I'm telling you, man, buyers in some metros came out before spring home buying season. That's crazy. And take a look at Newark. Newark, I mean, my God, Newark is just like 25% up year over year. Why didn't the article list that? But because the reason the article didn't list that is they're using 4-week rolling average. This is month over month comparison. But look at this, you guys. Same thing here with Newark. They hit a huge new high. Massive new high. Look at that. In the month of January, that is bucking seasonal trends. That is bucking how things normally work. And it makes sense why there's so much manipulation in the housing market. But look at that increase from December to January. That is $80,000 increase. It has a new record. Crazy. But when we go to the declining metro areas, they have not rebounded. Look at Austin. So Austin is down from December to January, as it should be. Same thing here in San Antonio. San Antonio is down from December to January. So you see that going down. You know, that's kind of a natural decrease right there. You see the same thing happening in Fort Worth as well. So not all metro areas are rebounding. My point in telling you guys all this, make sure you understand how your local housing market is. And whether you're interested in a house, a condo, or just an affordable roof over your head, you got to segment that part of the housing market and study it so that you know if you're going to get a great deal. Meaning, are you going to walk in with wedge or equity? Are you going to have cash flow? All of those things are really easy to find out. It's simple math. You guys, do your research. It is so splintered out there. It is so frustrating. It is so hard to get a good read because there are so many different factors pulling on various housing markets. And those factors differ from metro area to metro area. Migration is huge. Unemployment is huge. Unaffordability is huge. All of these things factor in on prices because remember, we're absent the recession. We don't have unhinged unemployment. We don't have foreclosure. But when we do, what do you guys think is going to happen to prices? Comment below. Now, the interesting thing is if you guys want to know what the market thinks, the market no longer thinks there's going to be a rate cut in May. That is beautiful. The market is saying we're going to have elevated rates, probably higher rates going into the spring and summer home buying season. Thank God. Take a look at June, you guys. They're now saying there is a 30% likelihood of no rate cut in June. That is absolutely phenomenal. Now, if you want to know how the market is considering the entire year, they're basically saying that there's going to be a 30% likelihood of 3 rate cuts and a 30% likelihood of 4 rate cuts. So they're saying 3 to 4 rate cuts are happening this year. But what the market's not factoring in is the possibility of rate increases. Why would rates increase? Well, because we have runaway inflation in the housing market. And that's not just the fault of consumers spending their money. You guys, we have inflation from all over the place, especially deficit spending. And I won't get into that into this video, but it does exist. All right, guys, now we're going to go into our data visualization. And what we're going to be looking at are charts that compare week over week 4-week rolling average of median. They also have the last 3 years of data. So you can also, in addition to that, compare year over year over year over year data, as well as the week over week changes in trajectory. Let's start with median sales price. So median sales price is up 6.1% year over year. Redfin is celebrating like this is the biggest increase in 15 months. Now the increase, just to let you guys know, is not in the week. Let me zoom in. The increase of 6% is not in the week over week. Okay, the week over week was plus about $1,000. Okay, when they're comparing year over year, they're comparing this line to this line. Okay, so that is your YOY comparison. You guys want to do a lot, but regardless, you guys, we ended the year. So when we ended the year right here, we were up, depending on the data that you're looking at, we were up 4%. So that hit me by surprise. Now, the reason my forecasting has been so off is recession. All things come with recession. If the recession gets postponed, so does a lot of my forecasting. But that's why we use the data. I don't want to forecast. I want to use the data. PE ratio, payment to income ratio, sales down, everything down. Like, oh my God, what's going on, right? We kind of look at the data. Let's move on to the next set. Okay, now here we have median asking price. Now that has been skyrocketing and it looks like it just hit a plateau right there. So median asking price, however, is up 6.3% year over year. And that is not what we want to see. So we see sellers continue to want to get top dollar for their house, for listing the house. And why wouldn't we? I mean, is that the sellers being greedy and delusional? Maybe. But also, I mean, do you blame them? I mean, think about it. Do y'all really blame them? Wouldn't you want top dollar for your house? Just saying, put it in perspective. Now look at this. This is just so shocking, you guys. Home buying housing payments, that's up 9.1% year over year. And still people are purchasing. And you guys, this is only at 6.64%. Right now, rates are in the 7. Literally, right now, go to Mortgage News Daily, look at the rates. They're in the 7%. So when this updates and it shows 7%, this is going to go sky high. This is insane. And look at the difference from 2 years ago. Look at this difference. This time in 2021, mortgage payments were about $1,500. They're $1,100 more right now, you guys. They're almost double, not double, but almost double. So either prices go down or wages go up. And the thing is, people are like, no, they could just lower interest rates. If they lower interest rates to 2%, what happens? We don't have to guess. What happens if they lower rates to 2%? Just saying. Now, here's the other thing, guys. Pending sales is in the gutter. It's a 4-year low. And prices went up. How's that possible? It's 4-year low. It's down 7% year over year. So this is crazy. Just watch your metro area again, because I showed you guys the bump in metros and I showed you other metros that there wasn't a bump. But the thing is I've noticed in Houston, there's buyers coming back. I had a client that I took out in Katy and their price point is double the median. And we went to a subdivision that had 2 open houses. There was like 10 cars. And I'm telling you, this is double median. This is like $600,000-$700,000 price point. There was 2 open houses and about 10 cars at each open house. This was on a Saturday when it was raining. Blew me away. Absolutely blew me away. This was a week ago. This is February. What the heck is going on? Crazy, crazy. Anyways, take a look at this good stuff right here. New listings are up 8% year over year. This is exactly what we want. We want listings to continue to go up because all good things come with inventory. Now, although the trajectory is going up, active listings are slightly down year over year. So we're down 2% year over year, but that gap is closing very, very quickly. Look at how close we are. I mean, this is how close we are. So literally we have one more jump in inventory. We're going to be up year over year. And I'm hoping this year we get to 1 million active listings. Time will tell. Now take a look at this, guys. This is our months of supply. This is probably the best gauge to read. Now, remember what I warned you. I warned you guys, this time of year, normally it's been going straight down. At least that's what happened last year. But look at what happened this week. So maybe the data that I'm looking at is lagging and maybe that buying demand is going to be tapered off now that interest rates are in the 7%. But again, that scares me because when I went out a week ago, that was the opposite of what I saw. But we had an increase. So this is good. We're bucking what happened last year. But again, this time last year as well, you guys kind of see it plateaued right there and then went down. So we want this to go up. If you guys really want to watch demand, watch what's happening, watch supply, because that measures both active units and how many buyers there are. So it takes both into account. We're at 4.2. We want to be sustained 4 to 5 for balance. And we want 6 months to start a buyer's market again and additional price decline. Now, here's the crazy thing. So Prices went up. But look at the price. This data, you guys, this data doesn't make sense. The only way I can explain this, because we literally have all of the factors that we need to see when we look at the laws of supply and demand for prices to go down. We have all the factors. So to me, including price cups, I don't get it. Except one thing, sentiment. Remember, I told you when we started the video, one of what's more powerful than fundamentals and the laws of supply and demand is the sentiment of people, is the emotion of people. And that's what I see, because again, prices are going up when every metrics we just looked at will suggest that they go down, including this. Look at it. It's at 5.6%. That sucker has been continuously going up. That's crazy. Look at how much higher it is than last year. This is 5.6%. Well, it actually doesn't say, but it's way higher than last year. And look at what it is from the year prior. Price cuts are exploding. That's crazy. So again, way higher than it was this time last year. Hopefully this trend will continue to go up. Now, this is the other thing that's so crazy, you guys. I mean, demand is literally, it's in the absolute gutter. So how can prices be going up? Maybe the higher price points, maybe they're just well-qualified buyers that are purchasing the higher price points, but the fact of the matter is demand is in the absolute trash can. It's down 18%. Look at 18% year over year. And this time last year, everyone was freaked out. How is demand down 18% year over year when everyone was freaked out this time last year and prices are going up? I mean, look at how much further it's down than last year. Look at that. And remember, you guys, last year, sales were in the 1990s levels. Okay. So sales, 1990s, in the absolute tank, in the absolute gutter. And now we're starting out the year even lower than that. Wow, right? A lot of crazy trends happening right now, guys. And honestly, guys, when all is said and done, like, what should you be doing? Well, it depends. You shouldn't let other people do the thinking for you. For one, you shouldn't look at the broad picture and assume your local housing market is experiencing the same trends. If you really want a solution, you got to work on your purchasing power as you're waiting. Wait with a purpose, as Orlando says. It's how you wait that matters. If you're waiting, renting like I am, but you're increasing your purchasing power, you're studying the trends, and you're out there hunting for a great deal, well, then maybe you're doing everything perfectly. Maybe we shouldn't obsess about purchasing a house. Maybe we should obsess about the relationships we have in life. Maybe we should conquer our desire to purchase a home. Maybe we should just be patient. What's wrong with being patient? Comment below. What's wrong with being patient? And as always, you guys, don't forget, I have a home buying course, and my home buying course, that's free, by the way, not free for me. I'm paying for my home buying course. I am paying money out of my pocket so that you guys have an avenue to empower yourself. I teach about payment, income, credit, what type of mortgages there are, what to ask a seller for, what's wedge, what's cash flow, what's payment, what's price, what do investors ask for? That's free for you guys. So part of the solution is you. Don't forget that. And other than that, guys, I really hope you valued this video. Hope you guys got some new insights, value, and perspective. And if you're out there investing in real estate, you guys already know I wish you luck, and I hope you win.